Hello everyone, it's Jean from One Day at a Time Farmstead. Today we're going to be making quercetin. With this time of the year comes flus and colds and things, and this is just one way to help head it off or cut the time down that you are actually sick. This is a great immune booster, so we are going to show you how it's done. Now, prior to filming anything, I boiled some water. As you can see right here, the little waxy stuff is gone. Preferably use organic lemons and grapefruit, but if you can't find the organic, then you'll want to boil any waxy residue off. I do it just in case either way. Boil some water, and then roll your fruit around into that. That way any wax that's adhered to the surface will usually release, and then I wipe it off real good with a paper towel. So there is wax removed fruit, and I'll show you what to do next. We are going to be peeling it. I'm not going to put you through the boring details, but we'll go ahead and peel it, and I'll show you the next step after that. Alright, so Mark is helping me with the peeling part. You want to get as much of the pip as you can, which is that white stuff here. He'll go back and probably cut that off, but you don't want a whole lot of the fruit. Doesn't matter if you get a little bit like this, but we really are wanting the peelings. So we're going to be using 3 grapefruit and 3 lemon, both fresh grapefruit and lemon peels. Just the peels. And the pip, like I said, this white stuff. We are going to be setting the fruit aside. You'll want to put it in an airtight container in the fridge for, I wouldn't keep it no more than 2 or 3 days at most. If you're going to use it to make juice or eat grapefruit or whatever you're going to do with it. But 2 or 3 days at most in an airtight container in the fridge. Our main goal is using the peelings where the quercetin, we're going to get the good properties for the quercetin from. Alright, now we have our fruit in our pot, just our peelings, not the fruit, excuse me, and then we're going to take distilled water and just cover them barely over the top, just like that, because they're just going to float up. So that's just enough, but we use distilled water. Don't use water from the tap because of the chemicals and things like that, especially if you live in a area where you have to depend on city water. Alright, so I like to use a pot with a clear lid, that way I can see what's going on. I turn it on high until we get to a rolling boil, and then I turn it down to a simmer, and we're going to do this for 3 hours. It's going to sit on a simmer. Do not open the lid, whatever you do, because the healing properties are in the quercetin that comes up in the steam. You want all that to stay in your pot. So do not be tempted to lift the lid at all. We'll bring you back shortly. Keep in mind, because like even with this clear lid, or if you don't have a clear lid, you're not going to be able to see it boiling, but you know what it sounds like when it starts to get to a rolling boil. As soon as it does, you turn it down to low and let it just simmer. Again, for 3 straight hours on a simmer. Okay, now we have let this simmer for 3 hours. We're going to take off the lid, but I'm going to take my spatula and rake the lid, get all those little steam driplets back into the pot. And here is our quercetin mixture. We're going to drain it. Alright, we put it in a strainer, and then I'm going to mash through all the little goodies that's come from this, and then I'll strain it one more time. Now, this quercetin has a much greater amber color to it because I use the ruby red grapefruit. You can use the yellow, and it'll have more of a yellowy flavor. I use the ruby red, which gave it the amber color. Most of the time when you use the peelings from the regular grapefruit, the yellow ones, you get more of a yellowy orange color. This is more amber color because we use the ruby red Texas grapefruits. We have yielded about 16 ounces, 2 cups of juice. So we'll put it in the mason jar and we will store it in the fridge, and we'll take about a tablespoon twice a day. So Mark and I take a tablespoon twice a day, and it's always been very helpful in heading off colds and flus. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you'll try this at home. Let me know what you think. And that's it. We're going to let it cool off. We're going to pour it into a mason jar and put it in the refrigerator. I do not keep this no more than about 2, maybe 3 weeks at the very most. Most time it don't last no more than 2 weeks. This is... Alrighty, this is how I stored it. I put it in 2 smaller jars with a lid, and then I put it into this pour spout jar, which this lid will also fit these jars. We'll use this first, but that way it's not being opened and closed the whole time it's in the refrigerator. So to me, it's best to do it in smaller, like pint size, or just small jars with seals, so it just lasts longer. Just me. As always, thanks for doing life together with us, one day at a time.